What's going on, guys? You are listening to Beyond the Fantasy Football Podcast. Make sure you wait till the end of the show to catch our Twitter handle and our YouTube channel. Hop on Twitter, give us a follow, hop on YouTube, hit that subscribe button for all of your weekly fantasy football updates. Thanks, guys. We'll catch you on the other side. All right, back again. I think this is our 5th or 6th edition. I don't even know. I think 5th. I think it's our 5th edition. So today, Michael and I are here. Jared's back again, and we have a special guest. Christian is joining us.
What up?
So we are going to do a little special thing. We talked about it. You guys have any recaps? We didn't do an episode last week. No, some of the guys were out of town, so we didn't do one. But glad to have Michael back. Dylan is out with
strep throat, bro.
Strep throat.
Couldn't play through it.
Yeah, well, he's got to learn.
Making out with Sam Darnold.
Speaking of, he's back, so the Jets may not be totally atrocious anymore. So that's good. So today we're going to do a little hot or cold. We're going to have some hot and cold takes, I guess. Probably mostly hot takes, I think, will be said today. So we're going to do.
Will end up being cold, Will.
Maybe, you think?
Cold ones in there.
Okay. All right, so we've got a pretty decent list. Getting the guys together, so we're gonna jump right in. Anybody have any recaps to talk about before we do that? I guess
McCaffrey played pretty well.
He's good at fantasy football.
Pretty much,
I moved him up the list.
A lot of people scored 3+ touchdowns. It was probably the most players I've ever seen score 3+ touchdowns.
Who all did score 3+ this week?
Aaron Jones did it.
Will
McCaffrey
Fuller
did it. Will Fuller did it. It was just
Oh yeah, what a
Will Fuller could have had like 5, bruh. He had 2 at the 1.
yeah, that was
Actually, DJ
that's true.
Chark was down at the 1. He would've scored 3 touchdowns.
For a minute, I was at that game, dude, and I thought it was gonna be Chark and McCaffrey back and forth, just every touchdown. I was just like,
The catch that Chark had that he scored. I didn't get to see the game. I was playing in the golf tournament, but the catch that he had was really nice for the touchdown that he caught and turned and dove at the pylon.
He didn't get the touchdown.
Really? Wow.
No, that would have been the third one. That I was talking about.
He's got that 4.3
They
speed,
marked him
bro.
down at the 1.
Whatever, man. Hey, as long as Minshew's playing like he is, they're going to be decent in that division. So we'll see. All right, so we're going to jump in. I'm going to let Jared start us off with his first hot or cold take. We'll go around, and obviously, if it's a hot take, we'll tell him why we think it's
all right.
ridiculous.
My first one is Le'Veon Bell will finish as a top 10 running back this season.
I'm about it, bruh.
Really?
Opportunity is there. All we need is some efficiency. It's pretty hard to be efficient with Luke Falk.
Yeah.
So this guy's going to get turned around, maybe starting this week against Dallas. I mean, you saw what Aaron Jones did to him. Fire up your Le'Veon Bell, man. Where's he at right now?
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
PPR?
He's 17.
Oh,
He's
17?
at running back 17.
He's a shoo-in.
Let's
He's
see.
guaranteed, Will.
Yeah. I think that's a pretty cold take. I think that he's got a legit chance at finishing in the top 10. Let's see what his points per game have been so far this season in PPR. 26th, and then so week 2 was the week that Darnold was, I guess, diagnosed with mono. So he's missed the last 3. They've also had a bye week, so he's only played 4 games so far. 26 against Buffalo, solid. 25 against Cleveland.
He caught 10 passes.
Yeah.
Talking about full PPR. I mean,
Hey, every bit counts,
numbers
bruh.
just get inflated.
Yeah, man.
Who was it? Eckler had 15 catches last week
for like
just
50.
nothing.
For absolutely
Yeah,
nothing.
15
Those were just
points.
more or less handoffs, bruh.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I'm on board. So that would mean he's beating out names like Derrick Henry,
Philip Lindsay.
Yeah, Philip Lindsay. That's
Ingram's
nothing to me. Chris Carson, Marlon Mack.
I like
That'll be
Marlon
tough.
Mack.
You think Mack could finish in the top 10?
Yes. Behind that line.
That's true. I mean, so it looks like the top 10 currently: McCaffrey, Cook, Eckler. This is in PPR scoring for running backs. McCaffrey, Cook, Eckler Jones.
out.
Yeah, Eckler's out for sure out. So I'm good with that. Jones, Chubb, Kamara, Fournette, DJ, Ingram, Henry.
Ingram's out. DJ's
I could
beat
see
up.
DJ falling off.
I could
kinda like Ingram.
see.
Ooh.
I don't know. Is that
He just doesn't catch in PPR. He doesn't catch any.
that's true?
passes.
I mean, is Aaron Jones going to be the guy there? Like, how much more do they need to see from Aaron Jones before
They still didn't let him. They didn't let him be the guy last Sunday. It didn't matter. They had Trey Carson or whatever out there for like 42% of the snaps. It was ridiculous.
That's
Let's let that guy
crazy.
run.
Yeah,
man.
Jamal Williams is going to come back. He's going to
Yeah.
take those snaps.
Yeah,
again.
so I mean, I could
That's annoying,
easily
but-
see Aaron Jones falling out. I don't think Josh Jacobs will finish that high. Then again, he could. That what is it? The AFC West with Oakland and Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean, I
they're
don't see any
San Diego
reason
or
why
Los
Josh
Angeles.
Jacobs.
yeah. I mean, it's not like they play a whole lot of defense in that division anyway, so he has a chance. But I think some shoe-ins for the top 10. Fournette, as long as he's healthy, he's been just a volume monster. Kamara,
Like
Chubb,
long run a game. That's always
just
good
turning the
for
hand
it.
to him for 2 yards at a time, and then 160-yarder. So, I think that's a pretty cool take. I think he's going to be somewhere hovering around 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, somewhere in that range. It just kind of depends on how. And I think the Jets could legitimately turn things around, but the Patriots are out so far in front, and I don't think that they're going to beat.
Oh, they're not catching the Patriots, but
no.
Bell is top 10.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Christian, give me a hot take here or a cold take.
Let's take a look. I have some cold ones.
Warm it up, bruh.
Warm it up. Let's see. We'll go with the easy one. McCoy finishes RB24 or better.
Ooh.
RB 24 or better.
24. Definition of RB2.
So we have in our dynasty league. Everybody sitting at the tables in the dynasty league. Dylan, who normally joins us, he's also in our dynasty league. They have a little agreement bet,
Gentleman's wager.
gentleman's wager, handshake agreement that McCoy's going to finish as an RB2 this year. McCoy currently sits at RB 24. So Christian's take is that McCoy's going to finish RB 24 or better.
It's going to be tough, bruh. Last game, Damian Williams got 35 snaps. McCoy had 14, and a guy named Darrell Williams had 14. It's just they like Damian as the feature back. As long as he's healthy, you got to bank on a Damian injury.
Yeah, that place is a wasteland. I don't think that McCoy necessarily is a bad fit there. I don't think he's necessarily washed up either. I just don't think that he's going to get RB2 volume. Like he's
actually looked decent. Yeah.
yeah.
It's
So
just-
I don't.
The touches they've given him, he's looked good. Even the fumble from last week. I mean, I've seen him hold a ball a lot looser than that.
Yeah.
that's what he
Yeah.
does. That's a trademark. Bro.
I
You
saw
gotta shout out
somebody.
for
I
that.
saw somebody on Twitter. It was when Baker Mayfield was like running around, and before he fumbled, he was like holding the ball like you hold like a bag of dog turds when you're walking your dog and you pick it up. Like he's just like holding it out.
Sean McCoy carry ever. I mean,
Yeah, it's yeah.
no security there. He's just running free. But
That's part of the brand, bro. You can't stop now.
you take it where you
You got buy into it,
Did
baby.
McCoy get hurt or something last week?
They took him out of the game, or they didn't play him as much. Said he was struggling in pass protection a little bit.
Man.
Which, I mean,
Well, I'm sure that'll come with a couple years in the league for him.
Man.
But yeah, he got 0 rushing attempts, only 2 passes.
the
Yeah,
screen was good
that's
until
a
it got
pretty hot
pushed out.
take.
The one thing that'll keep McCoy kind of in the mix is any Kansas City running back could have a 3-touchdown game just because how much they score. So
Yeah,
he
that's
might
true.
could be like creeping along, maybe be like RB 35 towards the end of the year, then have a 3-touchdown game in that week 16, and
Yeah, exactly.
I
Boom,
just
he's
think-
in there.
I think that RB2 bar is set pretty low. Like he's not
Oh,
going to
yeah.
need.
I mean,
he's not going to need.
I was literally
tons of
just
touches
thinking
to
that.
get there. And I think in that offense, you take the 3 running backs they have. Well, Darrell Williams, I mean, he's nothing.
Yeah,
Williams
but-
is nothing.
they keep running him
Damian-
out there.
Damian Williams,
I mean,
what's he really got?
truth be told, I could see him holding right around where he is. Saquon's gonna jump in there.
Obviously.
Oh,
Yeah,
Lord.
Miles
Clearly,
Sanders.
Miles Sanders should. James White at any point, just in the same note that Michael just made. James White could, yeah. I
he'll
mean,
be in there.
I mean, he could easily be in that RB2 conversation. Demont could fall out.
I could-
I don't think
Sony
Demont
could
fall
fall
out.
out. You
He's
thi-
got a handful
he's
of
on
people
the-
up there that can fall out at any point.
Yeah.
Sean McCoy really just needs to stay the course. He doesn't. I'm not expecting him to go out and put up 25, 30 a game or anything, but
yeah.
just, I mean, hell, he'll be the guy they stick in on the goal line probably
Yeah.
at this point.
I mean, you got to
Get some
think
goal
Frank
line
Frank
carries.
Gore's 21 right now.
Yeah, that's true. That's not
It
very
can happen for
sustainable.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
It's rough down here, bruh.
That's a super hot take. So I'm gonna take the next one. I'm gonna say Chris Godwin is a top 5 dynasty wide dynasty
receiver, bro.
dynasty wide receiver.
Dynasty.
Chris Godwin is a
North
top
Carolina.
5 dynasty wide receiver. So let's go ahead. If you had to make
That's too hot.
if you had to make a list of the top 5 dynasty wide receivers, is Odell Beckham Jr. in the list?
Yeah.
You
For
think
me,
so?
Absolutely. He's still got all the talent. Freddie Kitchens is not going to be there forever if he doesn't improve it. They've got Todd Monken waiting on the sidelines. They're going to improve that offense.
If you had to
eventually.
buy him right now,
Oh, I'd be all over it.
you would buy you'd buy OBJ.
I don't
Mayfield-
like
Mayfield-
OBJ, and he's a buy right now.
Yeah, Mayfield can't keep playing this bad. And OBJ's done it with Eli Manning. Give him a little bit. He'll be fine.
That's fair. That's
If
just
you're-
one name.
If you're trying to win this year, and this was one of my takes, was Odell isn't a top 5 dynasty receiver. If
we're
you're
gonna
trying to
have to-
win this year and you have him on your team, I think you sell him.
Sure.
If you're not
Yeah.
trying to win this year, then yeah, I would absolutely be looking to buy because he's still a really good receiver. In a better year with a better coach, he's going to be a top 10 guy.
I mean,
but yeah,
so that being said, you look at Chris Godwin and you can look at it through a clear lens. Bruce Arians is going to be their coach for the foreseeable future. I don't see why not. Their offense is very different. I don't see Chris Godwin's situation changing a whole lot. I see Odell Beckham Jr.'s situation just changing as much as the variables that we just mentioned. Coaching change, offense, Baker. There's a ton of stuff. It's not that he doesn't have top 5 talent. It's just that if you made me draft right now, the longer that this goes on, the more I'm like, well, I don't really know if I would take Odell. Like, how much longer do you want to wait on Odell to be what we all know he can be? Like, we've seen him do it with Eli.
Yeah, he's done it in worse situations, so I'd still hold out. I think he'll be fine.
Okay, that's a fair point. So another name that's probably close to that in this top 5 argument, Amari Cooper.
yeah.
Would you take?
Right
would
now, I
you
would
take
put Cooper above?
You would
Odell.
so
Whew, that's tough.
if you had to draft right now, you'd take Amari Cooper over Odell Beckham Jr. If you were drafting the startup dynasty league right now, you'd take Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
If I'm drafting right now, I'm taking Odell Beckham Jr. If I'm drafting to try to win within the next year or two, it's Amari Cooper. But we're playing Dynasty. It's got to be OBJ. And that's coming from somebody who I don't like the guy.
Yeah.
Baker's got to bounce. Baker's not this bad.
Yeah,
he's
I-
not.
I
maybe as
totally-
good as he showed last year, but he's not this bad. This is bad.
You know
bro.
what's funny to
100
me?
yards, two interceptions. Who can produce with that going on?
Yeah, I mean it's been bad, and I'm all on board. But I think it's so funny how much of a media roller coaster that team has ridden so far. Because when they beat the Ravens, they're like, man, they're back,
Oh,
and then
yeah,
they went and just took a dump in San Francisco. They're like, oh, they're terrible.
You knew that's what it was going to be. I mean, regardless of who coaches that team, the players they put on that team is still the Browns.
It shouldn't be Freddie Kitchens.
It's just, it's a chemistry thing, I
And
think.
and Dylan made a good point. And I was talking to him. We were talking about some DFS stuff. The Niners were on a bye week the week before they played the
Yeah.
Cleveland Browns, so they had 2 weeks to prepare for that team and everything that was going on. They watched them play the Ravens. I'd like to think that the 49ers are pretty well coached. Atlanta really shit the sheets, not keeping Shanahan around and keeping Dan Quinn, but that's neither here nor there.
It's tough for the Browns playing without a head coach, Will. They don't have a game plan. They go out there. They don't
That's-
even have plays. They're trying to figure it out while they're out there. It's tough, bro.
I
I think the 49ers are a lot better than a lot of people think, too. I think if you put a solid wide receiver, if they could go out and get
Oh,
like
yeah.
Stephon Diggs, even if they were to get like an
Oh,
AJ Green.
preach.
yeah.
That
That
Stephon
Be
Diggs
solid.
there.
yeah.
I don't
Kyle
know.
Shanahan makes
I-
wide receiver ones in his sleep.
I don't know
especially
how
with his
good.
talent.
How good is Jimmy G though? Like I think
Good
he's
enough.
I think he's perfectly average.
I don't think he's perfectly average. I think. Would you rather have Dak Prescott or Jimmy G? And this is
Ooh.
That's close.
because he has been
I'd take Jimmy G, bro. He's throwing to
nobody and Greg Kittle.
Honestly, I haven't seen Jimmy G play enough games.
But
doesn't get the
you've
West
seen
Coast games.
you've seen that's true. You've
I mean,
seen
it's just like
Jimmy G has nobody to throw the ball
when's the
to.
last time you watched
You
the
put
full
Jimmy
49ers
Garoppolo
game other than the
in
Browns game?
Cowboys jersey, and they're undefeated, easily.
Woo, woo!
wow.
Now that is a hot take. I don't necessarily disagree with it, but that is
Give him 2 real weapons instead of George Kittle
and a slew of running
ghost
backs.
of the ghost of Dante Pettis, whatever he was supposed to.
I don't
be
know
this
if you
year.
can call it a ghost, bro. He never even
But
lived.
They'll somebody
guy.
sees something that's just not there because
There was a
he's
lot
playing-
of hype about Pettis
Yeah,
in the
there was.
offseason.
I keep seeing the SpongeBob memes
My
like that
God.
says your Dante Pettis buy low window is closing. It's the SpongeBob meme because he's never gonna be anything. You're gonna have the window
you
like
guys snaked him from me for a third, and then you guys were like, "Oh, we're dropping him." Like, all right. Well.
All right, hold on. Back to Will's
Yeah.
take here. All right, so you say Chris Godwin is a top 5 dynasty receiver.
Yeah.
So what are your top 5 dynasty
Uh,
receivers right
That
now?
train, so-
yeah we did.
We
we
all
jumped
are.
off of it. So if I had to look at it, it would be D Hop 1. He's still there. Michael Thomas 2. And I'm trying not to look at the rankings while I do it. I would have Chris Godwin in at 5, and this is probably pretty. So I've slid Baker out. I've slid Tyreek out, which is the only reason I've slid him out is just because.
Baker was top 5.
Excuse me, Odell. Sorry. I've got Cleveland Brown brain.
That's rough, Brad.
That's tough. That just means there's nothing going on up here. It's just a bunch of
Just
jumble stuff.
scattered.
So Devontae Adams is out of my top 5. I'm not putting him in there.
Wowzers.
They look different. I would rather have.
Okay, so you
D-Hop,
have D-Hop,
D-Hop,
Michael Thomas,
MT.
3.
Chris Godwin.
No, he's not that high. But I mean, for the sake of argument,
Cooper.
Amari Cooper.
You're struggling for a 3. You got to put somebody there.
I'd
say
maybe
Cooper Kupp.
Cooper.
You wanna say
No,
Cooper
I'm not
Kupp,
saying
right?
Cooper Cup. He's not that high.
You just want somebody to encourage you. Go ahead.
That's right.
no,
earned it.
How about
No, I guess-
Tyreek Hill.
I said I'd slide. I guess Odell, then Chris Godwin, then like Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams. The only reason I'm sliding Devontae Adams out is that he's got foot problems. Every year he misses games because of his feet.
Amari
Chris,
Cooper has foot problems.
he had a foot problem.
It's lingering.
Yeah, he can play through it, though.
Yeah, he's fine.
70%
Anyway, I don't. It's not that I have a problem with Devontae Adams. I'm glad I don't have any shares of Devontae Adams this year because I don't know what that Green Bay offense is going to look like. Some weeks it's like they play defense well. Some weeks they run the ball a whole lot. Some weeks they throw the ball. It just depends. So then he's riding that matchup train. Tampa Bay's going to throw the ball a whole lot. Odell, probably not going to take Odell. He's probably right around the 4 or 5 spot.
So you faded Juju then.
Yeah, for sure.
Easy.
For sure. Because I don't know. I have no idea what the future of that organization looks like. Quarterback, coach, nothing. It's
Yeah, they're
spooky.
Yeah,
It
they're
won't be
currently on
Mason
a third
Rudolph,
string
so.
QB.
That's true. Yeah, we do know that.
Wishes to him that.
I told you guys in March that the Steelers were gonna be trash.
Well,
feels really
it's
good
going to
to be
be.
right about that.
Well, it's just different, and it wasn't that I was denying any like Juju truthers out there. It's just I wanted to see what that offense looked like without Antonio Brown in it, and then Big Ben got hurt, so we never really got a true assessment of the situation. So back to the question. If you made me do it right now, D Hop for the sake of argument, D Hop, MT, Mari Cooper, Odell, and then Chris Godwin. And I'm putting those guys in there above Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams.
I think
He-
you gotta have Devontae Adams in there.
I just can't have.
Would you put Devontae in there over Julio? I'd put Julio above Devontae Adams.
No. Julio is
The Atlanta Falcons.
31, 30.
I think it's 30 on the dot, bruh.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure, but
He's
Fair.
slowing down.
those bigger
I would rather
receivers break
have
down quicker.
Godwin than Julio Jones.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
for
would
sure.
agree with that.
Fair.
But I would rather have Tyreek Hill. I'd rather have.
Would you rather?
Devontae Adams.
Would you rather have a team that plays from behind and plays against fast offenses in the Falcons? They play against the Falcons. They play against the Panthers, who I think still currently lead the league in the number of plays per
He
game.
destroyed the Panthers.
And then they play against the Saints, or would you rather have a receiver that's big, has banged up feet, and plays in the NFC North?
He's destroyed everybody.
Would you rather have Devontae? Would you rather have Devontae Adams or Chris Godwin?
Godwin is pretty impressive
that-
though, because it's like you're getting the Mike Evans, but everybody's knock on Mike Evans was consistency. But you
Yeah.
get the slot routes with Chris Godwin, so you've got your consistency right there.
So you get the volume
but
there.
you're getting the potential explosion plays
You're
too.
getting the
It's
big plays from
awesome,
Godwin
man.
This year, and that's something new.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
So,
So top 5 if you want it. I don't have a problem.
I mean, it's not that if you made me draft, like had to pick right now between Tyreek Hill and Chris Godwin, that'd be a really tough conversation to
think
have.
Tyreek Hill
I
is
probably would too. But
I can see the argument for Godwin.
yeah, I'm taking Godwin over Devontae Adams personally.
I think it's too soon.
Fair.
too
That's
soon.
the
5
and that's a totally fair argument to have.
That's your argument. You go back and look at Chris Godwin's last 2 seasons, and he has spikes where he plays really well, And
He also wasn't coached by Bruce Arians, who's
Right.
traditionally
I'll give you
Arians
had.
has just taken all the target share that OJ Howard was supposed to have and said, "Godwin, that's yours." Bro.
Yeah.
They run that offense through 2 players. It's awesome.
Yeah, OJ is one of the biggest busts of the season
Of
so
all
far.
time.
Wow.
Like people were calling him. I thought he was gonna be like a top 5 tight end
I
this
heard
season.
people going as
But
high as top 3.
Yeah.
no.
That offense with
I thought he was gonna be
Yeah.
right around
Yeah,
5 or
he
6.
He's got an elite skill set, but Bruce
Yeah, he
Arians
called
does
it
not
like a
care.
baseball, like a foul ball or something really cool this weekend. It's like, and they clearly the joke was that's the only ball he's caught
Anybody
this
at
year.
this table could have caught that ball.
Fair. All right, Michael, give us a hot take.
Oh gosh, bro. Let me turn the page here. All right, I'm gonna say these 5 receivers will all finish 20 spots or higher than 20 spots. 20 spots higher than what they're at right now. Maybe more than 20 spots. What I'm trying to say.
Okay.
So Devontae Adams, he's at 32 right now. I'm thinking a top 12 finish,
Okay.
guaranteed, maybe higher.
Okay.
Odell 15 easily. Brandon Cooks 17 again easily. Josh Gordon 22 in his sleep. Stephon Diggs 37. Look for him north of 30, hopefully, but 37 for sure.
Yeah. So wait, so Diggs is currently at 57.
Somehow he's at 57.
Josh
Well,
Gordon
he
is-
seems to have disappeared.
where's Gordon at?
He's at 42, bruh, which
So
is
you're saying-
surprising to me.
Okay, and
But
then
after this Giants game, he'll probably be 27th at least.
Odell. Odell is at 35.
Yeah.
And then who'd you have? Who was
Brandon Cooks is at
Cooks?
37, which
Cooks.
is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
So I agree with Devontae Adams. I think he finishes top 12.
So let's take a
He's
peek
playing for
here.
the Packers. He's gonna get a
Yeah.
lot of volume. He's gonna get touchdowns.
He's got no competitions with it. He's got
No
just one
competition,
for him, which is
exactly.
nothing.
Yeah.
Now Odell finishing top 15. I think is actually very questionable.
They have to quickly turn things around for that to happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
Let's look at some of these guys that are in the top 15
I
currently.
agree. We have
You don't think
Sutton,
he-
Will Fuller,
Yeah.
DJ Chark.
Yeah, but you also don't
Wow.
have Tyreek Hill in there.
That's
you also
true.
don't have DeAndre Hopkins isn't even in there right
he's
now.
Yeah, he's
Mike Evans. Where is Mike Evans?
Mike Evans is his top 8. I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's-
sorted.
this is points scored so far.
Yeah, PPR points.
Oh, okay, that's horrible.
Somehow
Yeah.
Cortland Sutton's number 11.
There he is.
That's crazy.
He's balling out
Fuller,
with
Will Fuller is number 8 off of 1 week.
That's actually a fact.
Mike Evans is 10 off. No, he had 2 good weeks.
Yeah, Cortland Sutton's
Yeah,
going
we-
to keep getting fed the ball, though. I mean,
Yeah.
We'll see.
but Joe Flacco doesn't look bad. Like
He doesn't look great either.
Surprisingly, not terrible.
See, and that's the thing about that division is they don't play defense.
As someone who's had to watch Broncos games since I've become a Cortland Sutton owner,
Oh,
not anymore, but
free at last.
that is a rough offense to watch.
I
Watching
believe
a
it.
Joe Flacco-led offense is pretty rough. It's almost like watching a full Bengals game and thinking they're going to win.
Oh, that's rough,
Which
man.
once they get rid of AJ, never have to do it.
Yeah, that's
Never
true.
have to do it again.
So some names here. So just is A-Rob in the top 15?
I don't think so. No.
He is 13. Yes, he is
Yeah.
in PPR.
Yeah, he had a big game last
Evans
week.
is 14. Yeah, you're gonna have some of these guys get
Fitzgerald's
bumped
gone,
out.
bro.
Yeah, Fitzgerald, get him out of here. A-Rob will not be in the top 15, I don't think.
Ooh.
Sutton won't.
Once again, I mean,
I don't think Tyler Boyd will last there.
Well, they're constantly losing.
That's one
They're
thing
playing from
I
behind,
remember.
and this currently being PPR scoring.
He's had some good slot matchups though, because Arizona gets
That's
destroyed by
true.
slot, Seattle gets destroyed by the slot.
That's true.
Depending on if they bring AJ back within the next couple weeks, or if they even keep him, which fingers crossed they just get rid of him. I could see Tyler Boyd there, just volume alone. I mean, he's all they have.
That is true.
Eifert is a shell. Alden Tate, I learned his name a couple weeks ago.
He's like he's a tight end. He's like
It's
Kelvin Benjamin.
It's rough out there. For
Just big and slow. No, I mean I could definitely see Odell slide in the top 15. Adams is definitely a top 10 talent. In the 20, looking at 20, there's names like John Brown. Oh gosh, Julian Edelman, PPR probably, Larry Fitzgerald. Those guys are going to be bumped out of the top 20.
So, Jared,
sure.
are you calling that a hot take or a cold take?
it's not spicy hot because it's Odell Beckham Jr. But I'm just saying,
Well,
I don't
looking
know
at-
I don't know if it's going to happen.
What do you? What? I don't think Brandon Cooks is going to be in the top 17.
Oh, it's happening, bro.
So So if you're going on the fact that all 5 of these guys finished 20 spots higher, I think that's a hot take just
Yep.
based off. You're more likely to have somebody in that group that gets hurt or just doesn't live up to it. The names in here, cold takes individually, but to say all 5 of them, hot take.
That's fair.
One of these guys.
It's like a parlay. bro.
Yeah,
One
you
of
take
the-
a parlay.
One of these guys aren't going to do it, and if I had to pick somebody, it would probably be.
Josh Gordon.
Yeah, it'd have to be Josh Gordon.
Because the drug addiction, or
That's
what's gonna hold him back there?
I
No
don't-
Philip Dorsett Thursday. He's scoring twice. Enjoy it. They've been using him in the slot a little bit. He's gonna be fine.
Okay.
And they've got a game against the Texans and Chiefs later this year. They actually have to throw a little bit. Brady just missed him on a bomb last week. He'll be all right.
Cooks is good for 1,000 every year.
Yes, sir.
He'll get his touchdown.
1,200 last year.
I don't think Devontae Adams' foot is going to be much of an issue. I think he practiced today. Let's see, Stephon, 37th PPR.
My
wide
God, if
receiver.
it doesn't
Yeah.
happen, I'm quitting.
Honestly, if
Yeah,
they,
I
if
don't
that
know.
doesn't change, then Kirk Cousins is a shithead.
And
But he's,
the only other one would be Odell Beckham Jr. And
I think he's,
that would just take a meltdown in Cleveland for him to not get to 50.
which is
And they're already melting
To
down.
be fair,
they're gonna
It's
stop.
happening.
They are.
That would be my number 2 behind Gordon, but I think there's a much better chance that OBJ finishes 15th than Gordon does 22nd.
They need to change up that offensive line some way, somehow, or else it's just going to be because right now Jarvis Landry is Baker Mayfield's favorite target. He's his security
He's
blanket.
the only person he has time to throw to.
Yeah, that too.
yeah.
But yeah,
And Njoku is hurt too. Not that really makes a difference.
it
but
does. I mean, I think Njoku is actually a really good blocking tight end
Yeah.
as well.
Okay, well.
And so it actually does hurt their ability to throw the ball.
Yeah, they were talking about earlier. I was watching NFL Live, and they made a good point about the fact that they just really have to establish the run, but they can't block anybody. So that makes me ask, what the hell were the Ravens doing? How did the Ravens get? Like it wasn't
Their
like
defense is
it
terrible.
wasn't like Freddie Kitchens was out there like drawing up like the secret stuff or anything. They just Nick Chubb was just
running
70 yards,
down.
80. Yeah, I mean it was. That's scary. All right, somebody, Jared, give me another hot take.
All right. So my second hot take is that DJ Chark will finish as a wide receiver 1.
So to clarify, it's in the top 12.
Top
Too
12.
hot to handle.
Call
That
the
is-
fire department.
That is hot.
Will's house is ablaze.
That is hot.
I did some digging on DJ Chark, and it was shown that he ran a 4.3 440.
Accurate.
He had a 40-inch vertical, and he put up 16 reps on the bench press. He's also 6'3", and he's looking like a damn stud.
He's an
out
athletic
there.
specimen for sure, bro. I'm big on Chark, but wide receiver top
12?
12, that's
Right
That's-
now, he's sitting at what, 3?
So
Yeah.
so I look too. So the fantasy points per snap leaders through 5 weeks. And then you have to have a minimum of 65% snaps played in PPR. So the fantasy points per snap leaders is Dalvin Cook, Austin Eckler, Aaron Jones from that stupid blow-up touchdown week, Christian McCaffrey, DJ Chark.
Sheesh.
Top 5 in fantasy points per snap played.
The big thing
Wow.
for him is that they have solid QB play. I mean, Minshew's looking really like a legit QB.
Yeah, well,
He had Foles before that, who he was looking good with for half a game or whatever
Yeah.
it was that he lasted. He he really took a huge leap from last year, and he's looking like a really good player. They've got a good running game with Fournette.
yeah, that was going to be my point.
They're pretty good.
Their X factor is the fact that Fournette has been healthy and productive. When he's healthy and productive, other than the Thursday night game that America watched, that was miserable to watch.
Still broke one, bro.
Yeah, one.
He got his.
Yeah,
He might get got, but he's going to get his when
Yeah.
he gets got. Or in the fourth quarter.
yeah, whatever. But him being healthy and him being productive has really helped that offense. It's helped Baker. God, Cleveland Brown brain, dude. I know.
Get him
Sell
a
Gardner
jersey.
Minshew. Damn.
D.D. Westbrook has been awful this year.
Yeah, he dropped.
Chris Conley's trash.
Yeah.
Marquise Lee's still rehabbing. Even
Yeah.
though he's on the field, he's rehabbing.
I
It's
think-
the DJ Chark show over there. I like it, but
Yeah,
12
yeah.
is
Top
lit.
12 is he's going to have to really score a lot of touchdowns.
I think that
Yeah,
DD's
absolutely.
actually getting most of the number 1 corners.
He's still
I
trash.
know he drew Bradbury most of the week last week, although Chark did make that really great catch against Bradbury.
Yeah.
But his 2 touchdowns were against, I think Ross Cockrell was one, and then a zone
Who?
defense was the other.
Who?
If you can get Cockrell in coverage, you probably have a touchdown.
That's true. All right, Christian, give us another hot take.
All right.
Today,
You put me on the spot. Juju is a wide receiver 2. He is not a wide receiver 1. He is overrated. I will carry that to my grave.
Sheesh.
So Juju's current rankings, 27th. So
Not even a
he's not even a wide receiver 2 currently, which playing in that offense, I don't think there's anybody that can really.
Are we talking for the
Are you
this
just-
season, or
Yeah.
are we talking dynasty? You just wouldn't even have him in your top 12 wide receivers.
I would struggle.
Well, he would
with
say
him.
top 24.
I
He said
would
he's.
struggle. I
Yeah.
would not put.
No,
him
he
like-
said he is a wide receiver. Sorry, you said he is a wide receiver
He
too.
is
He's
a
not.
wide receiver 2. Put
Sorry.
him 13 to 24. I would avoid him in any startup. I don't see his situation getting any better. Roethlisberger's wrapping it up. He's hurt for the year. I think the Juju Smith-Schuster you got last year and towards the end of the year before that was a product of Antonio Brown taking every ounce of coverage
Yeah, I mean,
and leaving Juju Smith-Schuster pretty much running routes by himself.
yeah, it was like 85% or so. It was some nutty that where Antonio Brown had safety help. I saw that stat the other
I'll
day.
go on the record and say that I really like Juju coming out of USC, and I was really disappointed when he went to Pittsburgh. I thought that really limited him, but at the time, I think that's the best place he could have gone,
Yeah.
and I think he's really, really going to struggle to draw a team's top cornerback every week, and I think he's just going to struggle to be a wide receiver 1 on his own at any point.
So we've thrown around a lot of names today. So I guess we can sit here and do this really quick.
Let's do it.
What are your top 12 dynasty wide receivers then? That he's not involved in. You can just, but he doesn't have to be in order. You can just bust them out.
Give me Hopkins. Pull up the list. Give me Hopkins. I'll put Godwin in there for you. Give me Cooper.
Oh, are you
12.
going
Top
going-
12, yes.
You going 1 to 2 to 3? What are you doing?
No,
This is just-
he doesn't have to.
off
Just
the top of my head.
give me 12 wide receivers that you'd rather have on your dynasty team than Juju Smith-Schuster.
On my dynasty team. Just if this is the team I'm picking.
Yeah.
You're giving me 12 receivers that I would rather have.
Yeah, that you'd rather have.
I'll read straight down. Chris Godwin, Cooper Kupp, Michael Thomas, Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, Julio Jones. Scroll down a little bit. Let's see. All right, here we got more. Devontae Adams, Odell Beckham Jr., Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans.
That's 10.
We're at 10. Give me...
So you had Mike Evans and Chris Godwin in your top
I mean, if
12.
this is my top 12. I'll take A.J. Green in any top 12. I don't
All right, no, I get the hell out of here.
I don't
No
care if he
way.
shut it down.
No
Shut
way.
it down.
So you got 10 there. You're obviously
That's 10.
struggling
Uh,
to get 2
struggling here.
more.
Would you take Galladay? Is he a wide receiver? Is he at the bottom of that
I
list?
think
This is bad.
Yeah.
We're
Galladay
talking Kenny
can't go in there
Galladay.
yet. Galladay can't go in there.
Okay, so
Over
then who's
Judy,
he?
no
So you're
way.
at
Put him
10.
at 11.
Give
I
me-
wouldn't hate that.
Give me Brandon Cooks.
I like that. Hey, let's
Oh,
go.
give me Cooper Cup over Brandon.
He already
Cooks.
said Cooper Cup. He said,
you
but that's
did?
11.
Oh, I missed
But you're
that.
not gonna.
Cooper
Is
Kupp.
Adams in there? Did you say Devontae Adams?
Yeah, he
Devontae
said
Adams.
Adams.
You're at
So, I
11.
mean-
As much as I hate to say it, I would say give me Adam Thielen.
What is going on? What is going on?
That is. This is too high.
I like it.
3 years
This
old.
take
I
is too
like
high.
it.
He's
I love
22,
it.
I think.
Yeah, Adam
Pull up.
Thielen's 30.
Pull up Juju for me. Let me see what Juju
This
looks
is
like
not
this
going
year.
the way I thought it would go.
I thought when you say 12 names, you're like, oh yeah, you could probably
I
name
can bust out 12
pretty good
names.
players. Then you
Yeah,
start
I can eat
listening,
5
you're
hot
like,
dogs in a minute,
As soon as you
but
get.
let me do it.
Juju's 27. So,
We'll see.
what do you want to see here?
Let's see what we got here. I mean, no 100-yard game. No game with over 7 catches. I mean, he's playing with Mason Rudolph right now. That's cool. First 2 games with Roethlisberger, we went, 6 for 70?
Yeah.
5 for 84, no scores. I mean, this is a small sample size. I'll give you that. I don't think it gets any better.
It's,
I
it's
really
too
don't.
hot, man. It's got to get better, in my
yeah.
opinion. He's playing with terrible QB play. Even with Ben Roethlisberger, he'd be a lot better. I mean, I'm not saying that it's wrong to put him down your list at the moment.
People thought he was going to be a wide receiver
But
one,
he's,
the
I
wide receiver
still
one.
think he's definitely a top 10 dynasty wide receiver.
He's got to be.
Yeah.
I would fade him over, quite a few of the running backs that I would have had him above early in the season or before the season. But yeah, I mean, he's
Joe Mixon or
a top
Juju?
10 receiver in my
Joe Mixon or Juju?
Oof.
That's ugly.
They're both in rough
Give me
spots.
Mixon.
I'd
And that's
probably.
coming
I don't
from
know.
I don't know.
Joe Mixon
I'd have to
goes wrong,
do
he
some
goes to
thinking.
jail.
I'll probably take Juju simply because he's 22 years old.
Juju or Julio?
So
Juju or Julio?
I'd take Juju.
I would take Juju as well. I think. I
Yeah,
He's
think.
Julio-
still on the ceiling. I mean, even with Antonio Brown opposite of him, it still counts. He still made some stuff happen. I mean,
Yeah.
Justin Hunter's been opposite Antonio Brown before, and it didn't help him.
It's true. There have been a lot of people play beside Antonio Brown. So I get
It's too
it.
hot to handle.
I
boy.
get it. That was
good.
a hot one.
That's
Is
good.
that the hottest one we've had yet?
At first, yeah,
That's
it
the
was
hottest.
definitely hot.
That's
I
the
liked it at
hottest.
first until he started naming names, and I got down on it.
Okay,
I see you, bro.
Hold on, I can fix that. Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon, boom, to 13. There it is.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right. Am I up? Oh man.
Hit us with what you want to hit
Oh,
us with, bro. Let me know about it.
Man. All right, here we go. Cooper Kupp's the top 10 dynasty wide receiver.
Well, Christian doesn't think that's too hot.
Y'all just tell me when you want me to go.
Go,
I'll
man.
wait.
Go.
If y'all want to hype it up
let's
first,
hear it.
All right, okay, yeah, I'll do that.
It's going to be a while.
I'll have him up. All right, so Cooper Kupp, I think, is averaging 12.6 targets per game. Todd Gurley is not the same that he was. He's absorbed the Todd Gurley short goal line passes. Sean McVay's offense is not going anywhere. Jared Goff's not going anywhere. They play in a very weak defensive division. If he's going to keep the volume, he's going to play with that same coach. He's going to play with that same quarterback. I don't see the system changing anytime soon. The only question that you have is, can he stay healthy? Will teams rotate to stop him? And can he continue to get the same volume?
Are we letting Michael go on this one?
Let me know when you guys want me to go.
I'm just saying. These are my points, and I'll see if Michael can answer them because I'm sure he's come
I can
loaded
go
with.
down the list
Let
whenever y'all are
Let
ready.
Christian
I
add here.
have a short take, and then I'll let Michael run with it.
Do it.
Okay. Cooper Kupp is 2007 through 2011. Wes Welker.
That's not bad. That's his ceiling right there for sure. I like
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
You take
but-
Cooper Kupp and you put him on almost any other team, and you don't see him like you do now.
Totally fine.
Who could you
And-
put in his spot? Could you go as low as like a Adam Humphries and get similar production, 80% of it?
No, no,
the guys
absolutely.
in after the catch.
Because Josh Reynolds
beast.
got like 80% of it last year.
No, I disagree with that. You can make that argument all you want. Like, can he be a wide receiver one somewhere else? He doesn't have to
No
be.
way.
He plays with Sean McVay, and he's going to play in that offense. And neither of those two guys are going anywhere.
They've got their quarterback locked up. The head coach isn't going anywhere. Brandon Cooks.
Well, I don't-
Hey, before I get to the list, Cooper Kupp every night before he goes to bed needs to get on his knees and pray that Brandon Cook stays healthy. Because if he was to go down and there was no deep threat, Cooper Kupp's 5 for 50 game in and game out, maybe 10 for 50. I don't know, but he's not doing much.
Maybe.
There's nothing
I-
wrong with that. 10 for 50 and a touchdown gets you 22
They won't
points
get
in
the
a
touchdown,
PPR
though.
game, baby.
Listen, I don't disagree with anything that you're saying, but you could also put a burner on the edge and still have that same thing coming. So you can make all these arguments about if you take him out of this and you put him somewhere else. Like, you don't have to. His situation is not changing unless his health goes wrong, unless his health gets poor. Todd Gurley can go down. That's fine. Todd Gurley isn't the reason that he has the success he has.
Let me know when you guys are ready.
I'm ready. Go
Okay.
ahead.
I'm going to go down the list, and then you guys can say whatever you want at the
Sure.
end. All right, this is first off, this is who Cooper Kupp is. 4.62 40-yard dash. Trash. Bottom 25th percentile for a receiver. He's bottom 39th percentile in speed score, bottom 5% in burst score. The guy's not explosive. He's just kind of running routes decently, whatever.
Okay.
Hey, they
better than
said
I
he
thought
gained
was.
2 miles per hour in speed since his ACL.
I believe
tear.
that. I believe that. Plus, if you've torn one ACL, you're like 10% more likely to tear the other. But who cares about that? It's not even on the list. He runs 76% of his snaps in the slot. No other real wide receiver one has that many snaps in the slot.
Sure.
Even like a Keenan Allen is like 50%. Godwin's 50%. 76% tells me he can't beat anybody outside. What corner on the outside do you think he could beat?
Marcus Peters.
Yeah, maybe.
Keep Talib.
Cockrell.
Ross
There you
Cockrell.
go. But Cockrell's in the slot mostly.
Okay,
But
that's
Cockrell
fair.
also
He
held
beat
his
him-
own
he
to
beat him there
7
too.
for 46, which wasn't great for him. Against the Saints, he had a 66-yard run that should have been 20 yards. That's his only explosive play all year. If there had been
Fair.
decent tackling, he'd have been done. He had 70 yards per game last year. Now all of a sudden he's a 100-yard guy. I don't buy it. Here's a big one right here. Kupp has 57% of Goff's touchdowns this year. To give you an idea, Randy Moss in 2007 had all-time of Goff's touchdowns. That's not going to stay like that. That's crazy. That's unbelievable. That's got to regress.
I totally agree with you.
I got
So
one
I'm
last thing.
Go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
one last thing. If you're looking at last year through 6 games of those 3 receivers, Kupp had 22% of the receptions, 23% of the yards, 42% of the touchdowns. This year he's got 29, 31, and 57, while Brandon Cooks is down to 14, 19, and 14. Cooks is going to go up. Kupp's going to go down. I think he's a way better receiver than I thought he was at the start of the year. I think he's a wide receiver 2 for sure, but daggum, he is not a wide receiver 1.
I don't disagree with the points that you made about athletic ability. He's going to regress towards the mean. I get that. But he's also currently wide receiver 2. So
5 weeks.
what's through 5 weeks? What's to say he can't regress and stay in the top 12?
Goff is on pace for 5,200 passing yards, which would be like 3rd all time. He's not going to keep that up either. So that's coming down too. It's just
That's
almost the ultimate sell high.
Well, I would definitely say if you're ever going to sell Kupp, now's the time to do it.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I totally agree with that. But I just think that through what we've seen, I don't think his situation is going to change. I think that he's going to continue to get the volume, even if it's less than what it was, and even if the touchdowns regress a little bit. I don't think their game plan as an offense has essentially worked. They should have won the game in Seattle. I don't think that they're going to play in games that are not super competitive, and Kupp is by far and away Jared Goff's favorite target. So even if he does regress and he goes from 2 to 11 or 12, I still think that's in the realm of possibility.
I think
So
it's
now
17.
if you're looking long term, I can totally get that. But and if you're making me draft today, just for the sake of argument, I'm going to take him inside my top 12 wide receivers. I'm going to take him over Brandon Cooks today. No doubt about it. There's no doubt in my mind. From what I've seen, I don't want to ride the roller coaster of Brandon Cooks. I'm not going to take him as my wide receiver 1 necessarily, but if I'm looking at him to take him at the turn,
Would you take him over Mike Evans?
Cooper Kupp over Mike Evans?
yeah. Would you take Cooper Kupp over Mike Evans? That's a great question, Jared. Would you take Cooper Kupp over
I
Mike
would
Evans?
not.
Yeah.
I would not, and that's coming from somebody who just got Mike Evans today.
Yeah.
That might play into it a little bit, but I think Cooper Kupp is better than people think that he is. I think you can't
Absolutely.
always go by just measurables. And
Or
he is-
skin tone.
that is also a fair point. And I think that he is more than just a product of the system, but he is in the best situation he could be in by far, hands down. And
Yeah.
you can say that that's not going to change, but you never know if that's going to change.
True.
Absolutely.
It could change 3. It could change 3 years from now.
Brandon Cooks is, I agree with Michael, he's due to come up. Robert Woods is due to come up, and you should know that better than anybody.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, you are
Yeah,
Robert
that's
Woods.
fine. I mean,
Where's
Cooper
Bob
Kupp.
Woods?
Cooper Kupp got 17 targets the other night. 17 targets. He got the ball thrown at him 17 times. Even if that regresses to
10.
to 10, if he averages 9.5 targets per game, that means he's going to get somewhere between 760 and 100 yards a game, and probably a touchdown because he's clearly Goff's favorite target around the goal line. Unless all of a sudden Everett becomes.
You're not going to
Yeah.
average a touchdown a week.
Sure.
But, I still think his floor is so high because of all those targets. And he's proven to be a red zone threat. Like you said.
He's just proven to be Jared Goff's favorite
You like
target.
Tyler Boyd, you like Julian Edelman, he's same thing.
Fair.
more or less. I mean,
That's fair. I don't think that's
Adam
a.
Thielen wins some on the outside. He plays a lot in the slot, but he wins some on the outside. I would probably think talent-wise, Thielen's a better receiver, but situation stuff, yeah, Cup. But
That's totally fair.
I just
I'm
think
with
he's
it.
a wide receiver one.
That's
That's tough.
that's totally fine. That's totally fine. So that
But
was,
he
that was a
is-
pretty.
he
really
is
good
better
after
than,
the catch,
Sammy
too.
Watkins.
That's fine. All right. So Michael, give us your next hot take.
All right, since we did Cup, I'll go ahead and skip to buy Sammy Watkins.
Why would we buy Sammy Watkins? Tell me why. I should
This
buy
is
Sammy.
probably the lowest his stock's been in a long time, bruh. And
Not
he
in my eyes.
had 9 198 and 3 against Jalen Ramsey and AJ Boye or whatever. He balled out. He still had in the games he was healthy over 50-yard average, which is not anything fantastic, but he didn't have anybody taking the pressure off him either. I would buy him right now because people that have him, including me, frustrated as mess. This is your chance to get somebody that put up that 198 and 3 for like a wide receiver 3 value. Like you might could go in there and steal him away for, I don't know, like a Calvin Ridley package or something.
Yeah. No, I mean,
At Michael Vogler.
nah. According to
I
Michael,
would take Calvin Ridley over Sammy Watkins all day long.
Yeesh.
in a dynasty league.
Absolutely.
Owning Sammy Watkins is probably one of the biggest roller coaster rides that you can go on because that stock goes up and then it goes down and then it goes up and then it levels out so you don't throw up and then it goes up and then it goes down. I mean, if you're gonna buy him, now's the time.
Yeah.
It's just you have to be ready for what comes with it.
Yeah.
9 198 and 3
I mean,
sometimes.
do you ever put Sammy Watkins out there and just not think about it and say,
Nope.
that's my wide receiver too. I love it. No.
Nope. And looking at his schedule, this in the playoffs of the fantasy football playoffs, he plays at New England, Denver at home, and then at Chicago. Which I don't think Kansas City is going to struggle to score the ball. That's not what I'm saying. It's just
He'll have Tyreek taking some pressure off him too, and then you got to think next year he's probably somewhere else, maybe as the wide receiver 1 for somebody.
That's fine. He's the wide receiver 1 for the Chiefs the past 4 weeks, and he's put up 10,
Well,
11, 6, and 0.
Yeah, but
He's got the best quarterback in the NFL throwing to him right now
That's why I'm
as
saying
the
you can
wide
buy him,
receiver
Brad.
1.
That's why I'm
and
saying
he's
you can
putting
buy
up
him.
garbage numbers. He's not that good of a wide receiver.
Ooh, dude, I don't know.
He's not in my top
198 and 3.
75 dynasty
Top
You're
seven.
crazy,
players. I would take
Name
so
them right
many
now.
players.
Name
over
them right
Sammy
now.
Watkins.
name him.
It's
We'll pull
absurd.
Hey,
Do it.
that 47.8 is more than like your 75th receiver will score all year, like in the whole year. That is a fantastic game against Jalen Ramsey, bruh.
That's fair. We can disagree.
I mean, the ceiling
I don't-
is extremely high. The floor is
It's super high, and I mean I totally agree with the take that you could definitely buy low right now, and he's a good target for it because you've seen what his ceiling can be in the games. I think Tyreek coming back the rest of the year, he could have a really good year, but his future is pretty muddy for me, so I'm unsure.
So this is pretty funny. Hold on, let me just chime in here. I'm on a random fantasypros.com.
Boy, chomp it in.
Dynasty overall, Sammy Watkins is 76.
I think somebody looked that up before they came here.
Oh,
I literally had no clue. I was like, I
Oh,
wonder.
that's for everybody though, bro. That's running back
Yeah.
and everything. Oh,
Yeah,
I
I-
meant receivers.
No, no,
Oh,
no, no,
I was
no,
like,
no, no,
dang.
no,
I
no, no.
thought you said wide
Yeah,
receiver.
you said wide receivers. That's
76.
why
No,
I don't.
no, he said on his
76
top
is
top 75 dynasty. I think is
said
what he
dynasty.
said.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's like 6th round. That's not bad at all,
We got it
bro.
recorded. We can play it.
Sixth round
I
is
was under the
fine.
impression it was
No.
wide
That's what I
receiver
thought too. That's why I was like,
76,
the 76 receiver won't score 40 points all
No,
year.
absolutely no.
That's
no,
why
no,
I looked
no.
at you real funny, bro.
No, 75th overall. I would.
No,
be,
that's not bad. That's probably
Yeah.
fine. That may be too. That may be too high.
well, I'm pretty sure when we did our preseason rankings, you
I
had
am
him at
top
like
50,
30,
bro.
dog.
I am top 50.
I
I still
love-
would. The ceiling was there, bro. 9 198 and 3.
Hey,
Wait,
that
Netflix,
is a-
if Cooper Cup ever does that in a game, let me know.
I'm pretty sure he's done close to it before.
198?
Last season, he had like a 200-yard game. Let me look. it
Fact
up.
check.
I don't know
Fact
about
check.
that.
While he's doing it,
He only had 500 yards all year. He couldn't have had a 200-yard game.
we'll see. I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head.
He had a pretty strong game.
He had 9 catches, 162, and 2 touchdowns.
That's not 198.
No, 3. It's very good.
You didn't have to.
Jalen Ramsey on the outside, bro, not running those gimme slot routes.
Hey, give me those slot routes all day
that
long.
was
for
against
that
Minnesota.
Hey,
That's true. All right.
Aaron Waller had 134 against Minnesota, bro, in the slide.
Get the tape pulled up.
Yeah, pull up your tape. Christian's gonna bring us home here.
Hit us with it, bro.
Oh, you did. Yeah, I forgot. You did have
I
a
put
couple.
4. I was feeling generous at work today.
Todd Gurley.
That's the one. We've already talked about Evans and Godwin. We haven't really talked about Evans that much, but I think Evans is still above Godwin. I feel like that's a pretty cold take. Gurley still being a top 5 dynasty running back. I know that's going to be a hot take.
That's hot as hell.
That's-
Here, I'll do it really quick. Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley,
Alvin Kamara.
Alvin Kamara,
Kamara, but I mean, that's easy.
Dalvin Cook, and
Nick
Ezekiel
Chubb.
Elliott.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb, Dalvin
I would be
Cook.
closer to Cup as a wide receiver 1 than I would be Gurley top 5.
Thank
anymore.
you.
That's just like
And that hurt him to say that. I know it did.
that's
Listen,
tough,
you cannot tell me you would take him over Zeke, Barkley,
He's-
Kamara.
He's 5. I'll preface it. He's 5.
So you take him over Dalvin Cook. That's what you're saying.
I think at this point in his career, and there's nothing wrong with it, he's like a souped-up LeGarrette Blount. You get those little 1-yard touchdowns, but you also get some receiving game. He's a nice running back too still, bruh.
His receiving this year has left a lot to be desired. He's had 1 game, 7 catches for 54 yards. Everything else has been like 3 catches, 6 yards. They're
Yeah.
not using him in the passing game.
In the game where there's 95 points scored, he had like, 5 carries, but 2 of them were touchdowns there. He's
My-
a goal line bruiser.
He's got
Bruce.
he's got touchdown runs of 8, 11. He's got a couple just 1 or 2.
The old
jams.
Gurley had like 80,
Working on it.
110. He went to the back of the end zone, took it out.
My theory for this Rams offense is that they are going to try to win games with Jared Goff as
Yikes.
long as they can, and they're going to give Gurley the home stretch.
I like that. Yeah, that's a good idea.
They want to test that knee out. They want to make sure he's good, which, I mean,
That was evident by giving Malcolm Brown what they gave him week 1.
yeah, week 1.
That was wild.
Week 1 was just like, hey, let's use Gurley as sparing. And Gurley looked good week 1. Yards per carry, not there like it was last year. I think
Yeah.
that offensive line has gotten worse. I think Goff is not a quarterback that can just lead a team like that.
Nah.
And to be fair, Gurley has Cincinnati and Atlanta. No, he has Atlanta and Cincinnati back to back after this next game. This next game against San Francisco might not
Tough.
be pretty, but that San Francisco's defense is really strong. They're the number 2 defense right now. I'm pretty sure. Without looking, I'm pretty sure they're number 2. And Matt dropped them.
Neither here nor there.
Neither here nor there. If he can get through this game, put up 75 and a touchdown, I'm fine with that. He plays Cincinnati and Atlanta. I think they're going to let him run all over both of those teams. I think.
Don't know how long term you can put him in a dynasty league as your in your top 5.
Less
Yeah,
than
it's
12
tough.
months
I
ago,
think he's
this man
back end RB1.
was number 2 behind Saquon, and this time last year, Gurley was far and away running back 1. I mean, he finished RB1 by over 100 points and didn't play 2 games. And that's just, I'm not ready to let that go. I mean, I could be wrong, and I may be wrong, and that's fine, but I'm not going to trade Gurley away for a first or for an upside player and watch him do it at the end of this season, not on my team.
Sure, that's fine,
I
but
think he's a buy right now.
but
I
if
still think he's a buy.
you're doing a startup draft right now, you're not taking him in your top 10 running backs, in my opinion.
I think depending on your team
That's probably
structure,
true.
if you're going for a championship this year or next year, you can justify taking.
I'm definitely taking Todd Gurley on my top 10 running backs right now. Who? I named 5. I don't know if I can name. Can you name 5 other backs that you take over
Absolutely.
Gurley?
Here, I'll tell you. Saquon Barkley, obviously. Christian McCaffrey,
Yeah.
Alvin
Let's
Kamara.
just cut the 4 and go straight to 5. I mean, you've got your big 4 running backs. I'm not saying Todd Gurley is going to be.
Yeah, okay.
Right now, but you've got your 4. I've got him at 5.
All right.
Dalvin
Hit him
Cook,
with it.
Dalvin Cook's ahead of him. Nick Chubb's ahead of him. Give me David Johnson ahead of him.
Ooh,
Give me Leonard Fournette.
Yeah.
decent
The
argument.
dark side, bruh.
I'd still take Joe Mixon over him. Not
Gosh.
this year,
For Dynasty, I'd probably
but
take
Dynasty,
Mixon.
I would
Just-
take Mixon. I would take Josh Jacobs over him. And I'd probably take Derrick Henry.
Oh, Derrick Henry, bro. That's surprising for me.
It is.
He really doesn't
But
like Todd Gurley.
The problem with Todd Gurley, I still don't know if his knees are okay. I don't know how many years he's got, man.
I mean, you can say that for anybody. I mean, you look out here, players tear their ACLs all the time. When you tear
Sure,
your
but where
ACL,
there's
Halfback
smoke,
is a
there's
short
fire,
shelf
bro.
life. What I'll say, though, is have we ever seen a star running back come back like this and be kind of a shell of what they were, then all of a sudden go back to star? Like, who is the last person we've seen do that?
I think if you look at his usage this year, they're clearly just testing him to see where he's at right now. As opposed, I mean, you watch him run the ball, and he's still breaking off nice runs. He's not getting separation from the line.
He's not running by anybody.
I think that's more a product of the line, and I think that they are.
Their line has been bad in your defense. They have been pretty bad.
They are relying on Goff to carry these games, and it's not working. They're 3-2. They got just slapped by the Bucks. They lost a winnable game in Seattle. I know that's got to hurt. I think as the season progresses, I think this game against Atlanta and this game against Cincinnati, I think Gurley gets back on track in a big way. And I think down the stretch, it's going to be the Gurley show. We haven't had a Gurley game yet. I think he's due. And if he goes through Atlanta and if he goes through Cincinnati and he's still putting up 16 for 53 and a couple little plotter touchdowns or whatever, then, I'll come back and say, hey, I was wrong. You can bring me back and I'll tell you. I think
We look forward to having you.
There's personal preference that goes into this. I put a lot on Gurley, which at the time felt like a buy low. Still feels like a good buy to me. I mean, he's RB 15 right now. He's in there on the snap. He's getting the snap count up every week. I think it's just a matter of them taking the chains off of him and letting him go.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah, I'm with it. I think that's good.
Enough, yeah.
And Dalvin Cook is not a stretch to put at 5. I will say that. I mean, it's not just slam dunk Gurley 5 for me.
Yeah.
I like Dalvin Cook a lot. I need to see it for more than 5 games and the back stretch of last season, a couple games last season. He put up some duds.
Yeah, that's fair. Totally fair. All right. Well, I think that it. Anybody have any good wrap up for this week? A couple hot takes. Hopefully, you guys listening can take some interesting opinion sides, some stats, and help with your dynasty teams going forward. Appreciate you guys listening as always. Check out YouTube. Check out Twitter. You'll see our handles and our YouTube channel if you're listening. So thank you guys, and we're out. Peace.
Boom.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the episode. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at BeyondFFP and check us out on YouTube at Beyond the Fantasy Football Podcast. We'll catch you next time.